It's not a boring lecture I'm trying to make video about. It's about who I am and what is the meaning of writing songs for me. I'm Adarsh and this is my story. I study at a not so exciting college because the schedule is so insulting to the dreams. I barely get time to visit the city and recently I made an album called Penguins. It's on my YouTube channel consisting of 12 tracks. Some are produced and some are just me singing in my room. The most special part of my songs is that all of them are made on my Android device.
Penguins walk in the ice. They have no wings to fly, but a sweet little heart where I do reside. Penguins dance in the ice, but slips and falls on the ground. But the more it falls, when I do smile.
We sometimes tend to overthink how complicated music making is, but it's as interesting as drinking your morning coffee. Weird analogy, but that's exactly where my songs come from. I won't tell you to keep a notebook and try to think about your past or even read a book. That's boring, and that's something you already know. Do you love texting your friend or your lover? Well, I do, and that's one of the sources of my songs. When I was making the album Penguins, it was a bit imaginative at first. But later on, I met the person and I wrote songs. First Date. The second track of the album is really a cute piece. I remember when we were planning our first meeting, we were asking each other's favorite colors and what we were doing and where we were meeting. Yeah, exactly. I wrote the exact same thing. But also, I was supernaturally happy that day, and I remember bringing my guitar inside my kitchen and singing the first two lines, which stood out as the most beautiful part. Can I bring you some flowers on our first date? What's the color that's your favorite? People normally have this misconception about rhyming compulsion when trying to write songs. You don't always need super rhyming lines. No rhyming or slight rhyming can also be provocatively beautiful. We're not robots and there are no strict rules to make a song. Do you know Olivia Rodrigo?
Sometimes being in love with a person who doesn't love you the same way can feel kind of degrading to you.
She happens to write songs with her signature style. In her number one song, she writes, I got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about, because you were so excited for me to finally drive up to your house. But today I drove through the suburbs, crying because you weren't around. No rhyming, still powerful. She often states the first line and explains why she said that in the complimentary line. Her storytelling is on point, and she knows how to keep her words open. The point here is we're not perfectionists, we're not professionals, and we're allowed to sound funny, to make mistakes. Someone said, sometimes broken is even more beautiful when fixed. So this is the one thing that helps me to write songs.
The same things repeats in my life. Nothing changes like it's forever written in the sky.
Firstly, something that's on your mind entirely, or checking your last conversations with your friends. Write, and Even if it's not rhyming or perfect, it's okay. Find a story or make a story and write it. That gives me a second idea to make another episode of this topic, that is, to share how I compose my songs. Till then, if you really want, try writing a song, a verse, anything, and if possible, email me. My email ID is on the description. I'll read and I'll respond to you. Till then, see ya, subscribe, and I love you for listening till the end. Bye bye.